What if everything you knew about Trent Johnston wasn't the whole truth? What if the man millions have come to know and respect on television was carrying a family secret so deep, so personal, that it could change the way we see his life story forever? What secret has Trent Johnston been hiding that could change everything we thought we knew about him? Trent Johnston became a household name through 7 Little Johnstons, the hit TLC reality show that follows the daily life of a family of little people. He's the steady patriarch, funny, hardworking, and fiercely protective of his wife and children. Over the years, fans have admired his sense of discipline, his dry sense of humor, and his ability to hold the family together, even in the face of overwhelming challenges. But while the show has revealed many layers of the Johnston family's lives, one layer has remained untouched: the story of Trent's own father. For the longest time, very little was known about Trent's upbringing. He rarely spoke about his childhood or his parents. At first, most people thought he was simply a private person, especially when it came to his past. But that changed when whispers began to surface online. Small forum posts, unverified claims, and distant relatives started to suggest that Trent's father may have harbored a long-held secret, a secret that was never shared publicly, one that could explain Trent's behavior, his silence on family matters, and even some of the values he upholds so fiercely today. The rumors started innocently, a mention in an old message board, a strange entry in a public record, but soon they became harder to ignore. There were stories of a man believed to be Trent's father who once lived under a different name in another state. Some said he was involved in a bitter legal battle over land in his hometown. Others suggested something darker, allegations of fraud, or even a criminal conviction that never made headlines but forced the family into a new life under new identities. One rumor stood out among the rest. According to a former acquaintance, Trent's father had completely disappeared in the late 1970s. No goodbyes, no trace, just gone. The next time he was seen, it was years later, living in Georgia, married, and raising a young Trent. The question was, why the sudden vanishing act, and what had he left behind? Digging deeper, internet sleuths began connecting the dots. An old military record surfaced, belonging to a man who looked remarkably like Trent's father. The photo showed a younger version of him, wearing a uniform, listed under a different name. The document revealed a dishonorable discharge, citing reasons that were vague, yet serious. The same man, according to these records, had severed all ties with his family and relocated out of state after a scandal involving stolen equipment and falsified identities. Could it be a coincidence? Perhaps, but the similarities were chilling. Even more curious were the gaps in Trent's early childhood documentation, birth records that were missing, school registration forms that listed only his mother's name. When asked in interviews about his father, Trent often gave short answers or changed the subject entirely. Was he trying to protect his father's past? Or was he just now learning the truth himself? Then came the biggest revelation: a faded family photo posted on a genealogy forum. In the photo was a man with the same face as the one in Trent's family pictures. Only this time, the name printed under it was completely different. The man had been declared legally dead by his first family decades ago, only to be found living under a new identity years later, raising a new family. One commenter claimed to be a distant cousin and said, "We always wondered what happened to him. I guess now we know." This revelation cast everything in a different light. Trent Johnston wasn't just a father of 5 children. He was the son of a man who had buried an entire identity and lived with the weight of that decision for the rest of his life. If the rumors are true, then Trent's journey wasn't just one of personal growth and family leadership. It was also about carrying the legacy of a secret and deciding whether to let the truth define him or bury it with the past. What does this all mean for Trent Johnston's legacy? It may mean nothing changes at all, or it might mean everything changes. Perhaps this secret shaped him in more ways than we'll ever know. His strong moral compass, his emphasis on honesty and hard work, maybe they were a response to the very things his father ran from. Or maybe Trent has been carrying a burden his entire life, trying to build something stable from the pieces of a broken past. In the end, this story isn't just about one man or one family. It is about how much of our lives are shaped by the people who came before us and how we choose to write our own chapter when the truth finally comes to light. Now the question, what do you think? Was Trent Johnston's father a man running from shame or seeking a second chance? Was this secret a betrayal or an act of survival? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're fascinated by the hidden stories behind the public personas we admire, don't forget to check out our next video on another untold celebrity mystery.